Hello, hello. Happy Monday, everyone. I hope you had a beautiful Easter yesterday and that you got to spend some nice time with family, friends, and do something enjoyable to celebrate that Jesus has risen. I had a wonderful Sunday myself. I went to church with my sweetie and then served in our kids' community with our 4th and 5th graders, and it was so fun. So fun. I love working with kids. They are so much fun. But that is not what I'm here to talk about today. So I wanted to talk today about getting other people's buy-in, or whether or not you need other people's buy-in to make changes in your life. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is that I had a consult last week with someone, and this woman was very interested in getting help for her and her teen. But she found that her teen was resistant. Her teen was like putting on the brakes and saying, I don't want to do this, blah, 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 making all the excuses that teens can sometimes do. Well, actually, any of us can make all the excuses. But so she was facing that, and she says, I'm still really interested in getting help, but I don't know if this will work if I'm the only one who gets the help, if my teen does not. And so this was her question, like, will this still work? Will this still make a difference in my family, in my relationship with my daughter? Will this still make a difference for us if I'm the only one who does the coaching and I don't get my teenager on board? And so I wanted to address this because I'm sure that this has come into other people's minds who have a teen who's maybe seen some of my content, who's interested in getting a consult, but they're like, I don't know if I can convince my teen to do this, and then is it not going to work at all? So I wanted to offer you the thought. So what if you were actually the only one who needed to get the help? What if your teen didn't actually need to get the help themselves in order to benefit? Of course, they will absolutely benefit if they do it themselves, because you're going to get the most benefit, and you'll see changes the fastest if multiple people in the family are getting the help. But I want to offer to you that even if you are the only one getting the help and not your teen, that your teen is not working with me, but just you for the time being, because they're like not wanting to buy in or listen to anything mom says at the moment, that you can still benefit, your relationship with your teen will still benefit, and you will still have more peace in your household and better communication, and you will actually see things improve even if you're the only one who does it. And I want to tell you that this is absolutely the case, and share with you a story just of my own life that has reflected that change from only one person getting help. So I'm going to give I have client examples, but I'm going to give a personal example because I know this example intimately because it is my own life. So my boyfriend and I have been together, my fiance now, but we've been together for almost 5 years, and we did long distance relationship. But when we moved in together, there was some, we'll just say, strife, right? Like, he likes to sleep in the mornings and likes to snuggle and not get out of bed. And I was one of those people who'd set my alarm and put it across the room, so I would just get up and get moving. He's somebody who makes decisions really slowly. He needs to mull things over and think about them and forget to think about them and then think about them. And he just doesn't make quick decisions at all. I am a quick decision maker. If I see something and I want to do it, I enroll. If I see a house, like the house that we live in, I literally, we saw the neighborhood, saw the floor plans, and I put a deposit. I would have put it, if I had my checkbook, I would have put a deposit down the same day. I put the deposit down the next day because I knew this is what I wanted to do. He would have mulled it over for like months and missed out on the perfect lot and all the stuff that we wanted because he would have just thought it to death. So we just had very different styles of communicating and very different styles of doing things. He was also somebody, that he would get angry and kind of get moody and pouty and not talk. And so I had been, I'd started getting coached myself, started working on my own mental health, and working on my own communication, how I showed up, like what I made his reactions to things mean or not mean about me or about our relationship. Like I really did the work, like the work that I do with my clients, like that is the work that I dove headfirst in doing on myself, because I was suffering by him getting upset and me making it mean something. And like at least twice a month I was like ready to throw him out of the house and like, just say this is done. This is like not the relationship for me. Even though we spent all this time long distance, like get out, right? Like I was seriously ready to like give up on the situation multiple times. But as I did the work on myself and as I got coached and realized what I was making things mean, and that I didn't have to choose to make them mean things. And so I started showing up differently. And because I started showing up differently in our relationship, and I started not being triggered by his reactions to things, he started to change the way he reacted to things. So instead of flying off the handle and getting mad or getting really moody and like not talking, instead of saying, hey, I really wanted to do this, let's talk about it, like he would just get moody. So it started to be like, instead of doing that, he would start to open up. And this was just a natural reaction to me changing how I showed up and what I made his reactions mean. Because before I would be very triggered and he would react a certain way and I would go right back at him, and we'd fight. And I just stopped making anything that he said mean something about me or about our relationship or about us being meant to be together or not being meant to be together. And instead I started looking for, because coaching taught me this, working with my own coach taught me this, to look for, like, instead of just jumping to a reason that he's being mean or he's being this, just not making it mean anything. And then by not making it mean anything, I actually started to kind of intuitively get the answers to actually what was really going on with him. And because I was able to get those intuitive answers of what was going on with him, it's like, oh, he's feeling insecure about this particular thing. And so his way to do it is to like lash out or to get quiet. Like, because I didn't make it mean anything and I started getting intuitive answers about what was going on with him in reality, then I was able to respond from that place of like compassion, and our whole relationship changed. And not because I was the one doing all the work, like because I responded to him differently, he started just showing up differently. He started being, a lot more willing to talk about things and a lot less just reactionary. If I didn't say or do something that he expected me to do, instead of just being reactionary, he started being more gentle and kind and sweet. And he started communicating with me better too. And he kind of got over kind of these old things where he wasn't communicating. He would communicate in a way by being kind of mean or pouty or whatever that he had developed in old relationships or when he was young. Like, he stopped doing that, and now he communicates with me and he'll sit down and look me in the eye and say, I want to tell you this. And so our whole relationship changed without him doing any of the work on himself or getting coaching on with himself. Because when I first started, trust me, I wanted to drag him. I was like willing to pay for him to have a coach, like anything, so that he could get on the same page with me, but he wasn't willing to do that. So I was the one willing to do it, so I dove into it. And just by me changing, he changed in response to how I showed up. And he became more gentler, more willing to speak up, share his thoughts, share his hopes, share his dreams, share his fears with me. Where before, like a lot of men, they want to put on like I'm the man, I'm going to have like, I have it all under control, like facade. He learned that he didn't have to do that. And without me having to tell him that or whatever, just because I showed up differently. So I would just let you know, if you have bouncing around in your head that question, like, hey, I'd really like to work with you, Lorna, or I was thinking about working with you, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do because I don't think my teenager will be on board, or I think they're going to refuse. And if we both can't do it, it's obviously a waste. I don't want you to think that, because I do want you to know, in reality, one person doing the work and the way you show up will create a ripple effect across the family and with relationships with your teens and even your spouse. And the other people in your household will start to show up differently themselves and start to relate to you in a better way. And so even just you getting coaching and you just working with me on your own can change your family in an amazing way. Now, it can also, people see the change in you, and then they are also get buy-in and say, hey, I want to be part of that. And that's great too, because then they can jump on board and they can also become part of it. But even if they absolutely refuse, you can still make a huge difference in your life, which will have a ripple effect out to your entire family's life and a better relationship with your children, with your teens, even if you have younger children or older children that are adults, and as well as your spouse or partner. So the answer to that is, what if you only needed to be the one to get the help? You can absolutely make a huge difference in the lives of all those around you and in the difference in your life by even if you are the only one who's willing to do the work. It will pay benefits that are just magnified so many times I cannot even explain. So I hope this has cleared up the question for those who've had it. Like I said, I had a few people ask me that, and I just wanted to answer that question. So I actually have a coaching call with a client in 9 minutes, so I'm going to keep this one short and say, if you want to learn more, you have any questions about working with me, or you're ready to say, hey, Lorna, I'm ready to work with you like now, let's do it. How do I do it? You can text MOON to 90407. That will get you a link to my calendar where you can book a consult with me, or you can drop me a DM here on Facebook and we can connect that way and set up a call. And I look forward to working with you and helping you change your life and your family's life, not just for now, but for future and future generations, because that ripple effect goes out across time. So I wish you a wonderful Monday, and I will check in with you later this week.